Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the brand new flash cards coming out today here in NBA 2K25 MyTEAM, whether or not any of them are actually worth picking up, and just look at their stats and badges, because the honest truth is I don't have super duper high hopes for this drop, mainly because I just don't think these cards are going to be super duper attainable, and that certainly limits their value, I guess, in terms of whether or not you should actually pick them up, because if they're extremely overpriced, then you probably shouldn't pick them up, you know what I mean? But we're going to check them out here in this video and see what they're looking like. I will say this in this video and later, but if y'all pull any of these cards today and you're willing to let me do a gameplay, please DM me on Twitter. Would really like to do gameplay on these guys, but I think they're going to be rare, so it might be hard to get gameplays on them. We'll see what happens. Either way, Dorian Finney-Smith, Devin Vassell, both opals, Dark Matter, Chris Paul, and 100 overall Patrick Ewing coming out today. Before we hop into it and check out these cards, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 40,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, multiple videos a day. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Without further ado, let's hop right into it and let's take a look. So we'll start with the first card, Mavs legend Dorian Finney-Smith, and Lakers legend, I guess, 6'8" in small forward position with a 7-foot wingspan. To be totally honest, he's a little bit undersized. Well, okay, 6'8" isn't undersized, but he's not oversized. He's kind of just average sized, I guess, would probably be a fair way to say it. 92 speed, 92 three ball, 95 driving dunk, defensively 90 interior and perimeter. Kind of a low steal and block rating. I gotta say I expected those to be higher, but he does have a bunch of good defensive Hall of Fame badges. He's got Huff Lightning Launch, Break Starter, Set Shot Specialist, Slippery Off Ball Posterizer, Physical Finisher. Not a bad looking card. Does he have any SIGs at all? He's got Rush Dribble Style. Kyrie Escape isn't great. Damon Behind the Back isn't great. Normal Fade, his release is on very quick. Look, this card's gonna be good, but to be totally honest with y'all, there are several cards on this list, or several cards at the small forward position, that are just as good as this Dorian Finney-Smith card for value. For example, like guys like Danny Granger, not extremely expensive. Terry Dishinger, not extremely expensive. Anton Jameson, who I didn't even do a gameplay on from Friday's drop, but is an awesome reward. I'm sitting here thinking, do I just make videos on a couple more of the fan favorites cards I haven't made videos on yet? Because it's like, y'all let me know in the comments if I should do that, honestly, because like this Dorian Finney-Smith, he doesn't look, I mean, he's gonna be a good card, right? If I can get my hands on it, I'll do a gameplay on it, but he's not special. And the honest truth is this card's gonna be more expensive than he needs to be, because he's going to be rare. And because of the fact that he's gonna be rare, that will absolutely drop, to a certain extent, the value of raise the value of the card in terms of his price, obviously. So I just think realistically he's going to wind up being more expensive than he needs to be, and more expensive than he should be, and that is going to be exasperating for Dorian Finney-Smith, is basically what I will say. Because like, if you want this card, you're not going to want to pay 100K for him, you know what I mean? He shouldn't be 100K. He's not a 100,000 MT value card, but yet that's probably around what he'll cost today, because it's going to be rare. Devin Vassell, probably same story. 6'5" with a 6'10" wingspan. The stats and badges are good. He's got an 85 driving dunk, which isn't terrible. 92 three ball, bunch of good shooting badges. 96 speed and agility. Hoff handles, lightning launch, and ankle assassin. Good defense, and Hoff challenger glove, movable interceptor, off pest, on ball menace, and pick dodger. Good stats and badges across the board. Releases on very quick. Jalen Green dribble style. KD escape. Not awful in terms of movement. I mean, he's got a decent dribble style and a good escape. Like, the card looks pretty solid. Again, probably going to be more expensive than he should be, and therefore less worth picking up than he could be, at a position that, again, a lot of people have Brandon Roy from last season. A lot of people are just running Dr. J. Like, there are a lot of cards that people are running at the shooting guard position that they've been running for a while, that they're not going to want to go away from for this Devin Vassell card. So again, probably a good card, also probably going to be pretty overpriced. So there you go. Devin Vassell is the other opal in today's drop. Chris Paul, realistically, just probably is not that good, let alone being overpriced. He's 6 foot with a 6'4" wingspan. He only has a 75 driving dunk. That is a flaw. It absolutely is. I understand that in real life, Chris Paul's never been a big dunker, but he has been able to dunk. And I mean, like, at this point in the year, cards have to be able to do things that maybe they're not great at in real life. And Chris Paul is not going to be a high-level slasher. He is not going to be a extremely great playmaker or defender or shooter, despite having awesome playmaking, defensive, and shooting stats and badges. 98 3, 98 speed, 99 agility, 95 vert, 92 strength, amazing defensive stats. Like, on paper, the card looks awesome, but he's a 6-foot point guard. His release is his own on very quick, which is not very good. To be totally honest, you know, it's not the worst jumper in the game, but even on very quick, I don't think it's going to be great. They didn't change his fade. He's got Darius Garland dribble style, which is a W. They gave him the best dribble style in the game. The problem is that by itself is not going to be enough when you have an escape that's not awesome, behind the back that's not awesome. Look, Diamond Chris Paul in season 1 was an awesome card. I really, really liked him. I really did. At this point in the year, this Chris Paul card is not going to be at all even close to high enough level to be actually worth using. And again, he's probably going to be rare, which is going to lead to him being more expensive than he needs to be. Jeremy Lin from the fan favorites drop is way better than this Chris Paul card, though, to be totally honest. So if you want to use a short point guard, just go get Jeremy Lin. He's a stud. John Wall's way better too, the Pro Pass Award. Like, people are already going to have multiple point guards in their collection. Even if you don't have like a top tier team, you're going to have multiple point guards in your collection that are like way better than Chris Paul is. And then you have Patrick Ewing, who I'm sure is awesome. 7 foot with a 7'4" wingspan. Obviously, as a 100 overall, he's got every single stat are basically 99 and pretty much every single badge on Hoff as well, at least every important one. Like, I guess he doesn't have Hoff handles, Hoff limitless, Hoff shifty, Hoff slippery. A couple badges there that would be nice to have on Hoff, but every defensive Hoff, every finishing Hoff except for float game, Hoff set shot, dead eye, break stoner, diver, lightning launch, strong handle. Like, the card is extremely, extremely good. And as all 100 overalls are, to be fair. Wow, oh my gosh, they didn't change his jumper. That's shocking. Okay, so this card is not, he's the worst 100 overall big, 100%. This release is not that good, even on very quick. This is easily the worst 100 overall big. It's not even a debate, because the other 100 overall bigs are, let me just go look real quickly. The other 100 overall bigs are Tim Duncan, who's a monster. Blake is kind of a big, but not really. KP, who's a monster. Shaq, who's a monster. That's it. Yeah, no chance. This Penny Hardaway, I mean, this Patrick Ewing card is not even close. He is easily the worst 100 overall big just because they gave him his own jumper. He's got Russ dribble style, but the rest of SIGs aren't very good. I mean, Kyrie escape, Andrew Wiggins behind the back aren't great SIGs. Like, this card is very, very, very mediocre for 100 overall. Definitely not worth picking up at all. Wow, this is a really lame drop, to be totally honest, y'all. 2 opals that look good but have relatively even counterparts in other positions and other, like, around their price tag and stuff. And then Patrick Ewing, who's easily the worst 100 overall big, and Chris Paul, who's just a 6-foot point guard with 75 driving dunk and not great SIGs or a great release. Like, overall, this is a really, really, really mediocre drop. That is all I really have to say about this. Again, I'll try to get y'all some gameplays on some of these cards, because I know people probably want to see what they look like, but realistically, this is not an exciting drop. This is not a drop of cards that I would really recommend trying to go out and get any of these guys, because they're all going to be overpriced compared to how they actually should be priced. Very, very mediocre start to Tuesday content here in season 6. We'll see what pack odds look like. We'll see if the super packs actually drop the market, stuff like that. We'll find out, but I hope y'all did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.